Welcome, faculty. The administration has asked me to give a quick overview of one of our school's assessment tools. The Woodcock-Johnson 4 Test of Achievement is one tool that our school uses. Now, let's talk a little bit about why our school has chosen the Woodcock-Johnson. Well, it's a norm-referenced, reliable test. The Woodcock-Johnson has been around since 1977, and we are currently using the 4th edition. When making this test, more than 8,000 subjects in more than 100 geographically diverse communities and 13 socioeconomic status in the United States were used. Now, this test is a comprehensive achievement test comprised of 20 subtests that evaluate the 4 broad academic areas of reading, language, written language, mathematics, and academic knowledge. Now, all 20 subtests do not need to be used when giving the Woodcock-Johnson. Selective testing feature allows specific tests to be given in accordance with a student's referral. Now let's look specifically at the subtests. You'll see here I have listed the standard subtests. There are 11 standard subtests. Now there are 3 different forms that are parallel. Form A, B, and C all have the same 11 subtests. Now the extended battery are 9 tests that can be given with any of the forms A, B, or C. Now you can use these tests in any combination to meet your student's specific needs. Now, who can take this test? Well, there's a very broad range of students that can use the Woodcock-Johnson. The company says that this test can be used for ages 2 to 90 in grades K through 12 and college. So this test is applicable to almost any student that needs an evaluation. Students that need evaluating for eligibility or a reevaluation or progress monitoring, all of these students can use the Woodcock-Johnson. It takes around 5 to 20 minutes to complete a test depending on which test that you give. Now, why did our school choose the Woodcock-Johnson 4? Well, this test determines areas of academic strengths and weaknesses that a student may have. It helps identify a specific learning disability by pinpointing the specific areas of deficiency that are shown in the subtests. We can use this test to monitor progress in our response to intervention program that we have. We can use the different forms, and we can use this test up to 2 to 3 times a year and check and look at the results and evaluate how the student is progressing. We can also facilitate an educational planning needs for a student. Now, how important is assessing a student? It's very important when we are trying to assess a student's needs. And with the Woodcock-Johnson, proper interpretation of this test is necessary so that the IEP team can have an accurate understanding of the strengths and weaknesses and progress of the student. The test booklets have a built-in scoring table to allow the examiner to see an estimate, age, and grade equivalent score. And then the beauty of this is that the scoring is done all online. Once the examiner inputs the scores, the scoring will have accurate results with precise age and grade equivalent scores, percentile ranking, and so forth. There's so many different ways that the information can be scored. Scores are provided for the individual tests and also as clusters. Now, educators need to be knowledgeable on how to interpret the results of this test. Now, there isn't time in this meeting to go over how to do this, but we are going to have another meeting where we learn how to understand these different types of results and scores and how we can explain these in the IEP meeting. The results can also be printed in different reports, different report forms, so that we can explain to the parent in the IEP meeting what the results of this assessment were. Now, I've given a list of resources that I used when I was looking at the Woodcock-Johnson. This Woodcock-Johnson test has everything we need at our school in a comprehensive assessment. We need to be ready to administer effectively. We need to make sure we are scoring accurately. And we need to present the results knowledgeably. Thank you so much for your time.